of interest. So 14% debentures of 100 each. What is the nominal value of debentures? 100 rupees per debenture. So the company is issuing 1014% debentures. Nominal value is 100 rupees. So this 100 we are going to receive 20 on application and balance on allotment. So what will be the balance amount? What will be the balance amount? Anyone? Yes, anyone answer?
Ma'am, 200.
Huh?
200, ma'am.
What was
200.
Ananda?
Yes, ma'am.
Anand, what is the nominal value of each debenture?
100.
80, ma'am.
Acha,
100.
okay, ma'am. I was saying the rejected shares number, ma'am.
No, no. Here we are just in the second sentence only.
Okay,
So
sorry, ma'am.
20 you are receiving on application. Balance on allotment. So what will be the balance amount?
80.
80.
80 rupees. So 20 on application and 80 on allotment in 2 installments where we are receiving this 100 rupees. Next, what happened? Applications were received 1500 debentures. How many were issued? How many were issued?
1000.
1000. How many applications you are receiving?
1500.
Very good.
1500.
1500. So it is known as?
Over subscription.
Yes, it is known as oversubscription. So how many debentures can be allotted? How many?
1000.
1000. So we received 1500 applications, but we have to allot only 1000 debentures because we issued 1000. Allotment should also be made only for 1000. So how they are allotting the debentures, out of which 900 are allotted fully. Means you applied for 900, allotted 900, no rejection. Then applications for 400, allotted 100. So for the second category, what they are doing, when you are receiving 400 applications, we allotted only 100. The remaining 300, what they did, they rejected. 400 allotted. Applications for 400, allotted 100. And the remaining rejected. What will be the remaining? What will be
200.
the remaining?
200.
100, huh?
200.
1500. In 1500, 900 full allotment, 400 means 1300 over. So balance will be 200. 200 applications were rejected. Not a single debenture is allotted. All the money was received in due course. Is it clear for you all? Now we have to write the journal entries. So where we go for the journal. Now first, pen option, why you are not getting? Oh, got it. We'll select thick border. Okay, ma? So here, first we'll write the steps. Issued how many debentures? Issued 1014% debentures at the rate of 100. So these debentures are issued at? These debentures are issued at? Very good. These debentures are issued at par. Is it clear for you all? Issued at par means what? At nominal value. Issued at par. Because at 100 rupees we are issuing. So these debentures are issued at par. So applications received how many? Applications received 1500. So it is called as
Over subscription.
subscription. It is called as over subscription. I think no doubt for y'all till here. Now, how you have to receive this 100 rupees? On application 20, on application rupees 20, on allotment balance. So balance means for how much you'll be getting? 100 minus 20 is equal to 80. Is it clear for you all? He had not given what is the amount you're going to receive on allotment. He mentioned as balance on allotment. So balance on allotment means in 100, 20 we are receiving on application. So the balance 80 rupees where you're going to receive on allotment. Is it clear? I think this is clear for you all. Now next what we are going to do, here he divided 3 categories. First stage is what? This is always you have to remember, issued 1000 debentures, applications received 1500 debentures. So it is over subscription. So how the allotment is made? He divided it into 3 categories. First category, first category 900 he mentioned, no? For 900 applications received, this is applications received, allotment 900. Clear? Then second category, for 400 applications we allotted 100. So 300 excess application money we received. Excess application money. So 300 into 20, which comes to 6,000. Is it clear for you all? Then third category he mentioned as balance or remaining. Remaining will be how much? Total applications received are 1500, isn't it? Total applications received is how much? 1500. From where I got it? Here he mentioned applications received 1500. In 1500, 900 first category, 400 second category. So balance will be 200 you told, ma? Am I correct? 9?
Yes, ma'am.
9, 10, 15. Yes. So are we allotting any debenture? No. We issued 1000 to be allotted only 1000. So what we are doing? Rejected. Rejected means amount is refunded. What is the amount refunded? 200 into 20 is equal to 4,000. Anyone having any doubt here? These columns, is it clear for you all? See the problem, what he had given? Applications were received 1500 debentures. So how many applications we received? 1500. Here I showed here 1500 debentures. So 1500 is applications received. So what happened here? Out of which 900 are allotted fully. So what we did in 1500, 900 allotted fully means no rejection at all. We allotted all the shares. Next, what happened? For 400 allotted 100 means in a particular ratio we allotted. If you are applying for 4 debentures, you have been allotted 1 debenture. So in a ratio where we are allotting. Then third, the balance. and the remaining rejected. So what will be the remaining from 1500? Deduct 900. 1500 minus 900 minus 400, where you get 200 is the remaining. So this remaining were rejected. We had not allotted single debenture. So total we received applications 1500, allotment also made 1000, isn't it? We issued 1000 means you have to allot 1000. So this 200 application money is rejected. So 200 into 20, which comes to 4000. Is it clear? Here, are we having any excess application money? Are we having any excess application money? No. No excess application money in the first category. Are we having any excess application money? No. Isn't it? They applied for 900. We allotted 900. No excess money. But here, when you applied for four debentures, one debenture we issued. That is when you are applying for 400 debentures, 100 debentures issued. So for 300 debentures where you have excess application money, on each application, what is the amount you are paying? 20. So 3000 into 20 comes to how much? 6000. So this 6000, are we refunding? Nothing is mentioned in the problem that they are refunding the amount. When the debentures are not allotted, you have to refund. The last category, as not a single debenture is allotted, you have to refund this 4000. But under second category, whatever excess application money is there can be adjusted on this 100 debentures, because we had allotted few debentures, isn't it? So where we can allot. Is it clear for you all? Any doubt you have? All the money was received in the due course. So no arrears at all. So we'll pass the journal entries. So first one. Write down the heading. Journal entries in the books of Dinesh Limited. Journal entries in the books of Dinesh Limited. So first one, where you are receiving cash. So the entry will be bank account debit to debenture application account, being application money received on 1500 14%
Okay, right.
at the rate of 20. So 1500 into 20 comes to how much? 30,000. So amount is 30,000. Am I correct? Next, what we are doing? This debenture application money to be transferred to debentures. So debenture application account
Two debentures.
debit 30,000 to debentures to 14% debentures. 14% debentures account will be how much? 1000 into 20, which comes to 20,000 to debenture allotment account. What is this debenture allotment account? This amount, whatever amount is there, the 6,000, we are adjusting towards allotment. In the first category, no excess application money. In the second category, 6,000 we received excess. So this amount will be adjusted at the time of allotment. Is it clear? So debenture allotment. How much we got? 6,000, no? 6,000 to bank account. What is the amount refunded?
Total.
Yes.
4,000.
Yes. Being debenture application money transferred to debentures account, 1000 debentures at the rate of 20. Then excess application money on how many debentures, ma? On excess application money on how many debentures? 300 debentures. On 300 at the rate of 20, and the balance 200 debentures at the rate of 20 rejected. Was it clear? So I repeat once again, being debenture application money transferred to debentures account, 1000 debentures at the rate of 20, and excess application money on 300 debentures at the rate of 20, adjusted, there you write, adjusted towards allotment, and the balance 200 debentures at the rate of 20 rejected. So is it clear for you all? We received 30,000 application money. Out of 30,000, as we allotted 1,000 debentures, so 1,000 into 20, 20,000 is transferred to debentures account, and excess application money, whatever we have on the second category, that is on 300 into 20, we adjusted towards allotment, and to bank account 4,000. That is 200 we had not allotted one debenture also, totally it is rejected. So 200 into 20, 4,000, we refunded the amount. Is it clear for you all? Then the next comes next will be allotment. Allotment. Okay. So first we have to write the due entry. Debenture allotment. Debenture allotment account debit to 14% debentures account being allotment money due on 1,000 debentures at the rate of 80. So which comes to 80,000. Next will be you are receiving the cash. So the entry will be bank account debit to debenture allotment account being amount received on allotment. So what is the amount you are going to receive? So this is the amount where you are going to receive. Total on allotment, due on allotment is how much? Due on allotment is equal to 80,000 minus amount adjusted on allotment is 6,000, no ma? Which comes to 74,000. Amount received on allotment. You can write working notes. Clear? So you write down the amount here. 74,000. Is it clear for you all? In this way, where we are going to pass the journal entries. Followed? Copied all the entries? 4 entries. Only 4 entries we have. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
shall we go to the next problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll go to the next slide. Now this is an important problem. Now we have to do the third one, isn't it?
Ma'am, what about the balance sheet of the second question?
You want to do the balance sheet? Just
Ma'am,
you.
can you just say?
Okay, if you want, we'll definitely do. Okay, you want me to do the balance sheet. Will you do the bank account?
Yes, ma'am.
Bank account, take it for homework. Balance sheet,
Yes, ma'am.
just you have to show the effect where it appears, isn't it? So this is the balance sheet. Balance sheet of Dinesh. It is Dinesh Limited only, no? Dinesh Limited
Yes, ma'am.
on as on. So he had not given the share capital, no information given. So first will be equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities, amount. So first always there is share capital, no data given. Then second one will be reserves and surplus. When that we are not having anything. Third is, I'm just showing loans and advances. Under that, where you're going, always debentures I mentioned you all, isn't it? It comes under secured loans. So what is the rate of debenture? 14% debentures. How many debentures we issued? 1,000 at the rate of 100. 1,000, 14% debentures. Okay. So 1,000 into 100, which comes to 1 lakh. Only one we have. So your bank account balance also will be 1 lakh. Assets. This is your total. Then assets. Under assets, bank account, you'll get 1 lakh. This is your total.
I didn't get the balance 1 lakh in the bank account.
You didn't get it?
No,
No,
we have
ma'am.
that refund also, no, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then
You will get.
4,000 we will be refunding. Then 74,000, 30,000 it will extend, no, ma'am.
1,30,000. We are getting it, ma'am.
I'll show you. You should get 1 lakh. Bank of first entry, what is the bank we received?
30,000, ma'am.
30,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in bank account, debit side, to debenture application. How much, ma'am? 30.
30,000.
Yes. First entry. Second entry, what happened? You are refunding how much? 4,000, isn't it? So in bank account, by what we had written, debenture application. By debenture application, 4,000. Then next comes next entry. Bank you are receiving only 74,000, isn't it? Bank account to be debited with depend.
I got it, ma'am. I wrote 6,000 at the application money, ma'am.
Allotment 74, no ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So total comes to how much?
1,04,000.
1,04,000. Balance carried down 1 lakh. Okay. So to balance brought down 1 lakh. Got it now? Bank account. Clear, Anand?
Yes, ma'am. I wrote 6,000 over there, ma'am. That's
Okay. Okay. Followed. Everyone copied the bank account, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Balance sheet also? Shall we go
Yes.
move to the next one? Now, this problem, you just listen. It is a little different. Now, till now, we did the problems when debentures are issued for cash. Now, the next one where we are going to do when debentures are issued for consideration other than cash. For consideration other than cash means when you issue debentures, you are not receiving cash, but in spite of cash, you'll be receiving any other asset. Is it clear? So in this problem, what he had given, a company purchased assets of 3,50,000 and took over the liabilities of 30,000 and agreed to pay the purchase price of 3,30,000 by issuing debentures of 100 each. Give journal entries in the books of the purchasing company. Anyone can explain this problem, ma? Anyone? What did you follow?
ma'am, the company purchases over the assets and rather than giving the cash, it gives over the debentures, issues the debentures, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Anything else? Anyone? Still, it to be modified.
Instead of money, they gave debentures for the assets.
Okay. Still, you're coming to the point, but you're not using the exact.
Collateral security.
No, it's not a collateral security.
Cash consideration, I guess.
Issue of
Consideration other than cash.
other than cash. Very good. Still, what the company is doing here, the company is purchasing a business. Is it clear? A company purchased assets and took over the liabilities and agreed to pay the purchase price. Means what the company is doing, it is purchasing the business. At what price they are purchasing the business? For 3,30,000. The business is purchased at 3,30,000. For this, what they are receiving when they are purchasing the business means they purchased already, they received assets and also the liabilities. They purchased the assets means the assets had come into the business when you are purchasing, you got the assets and also the liabilities. So always the assets shows which balance? Always the asset shows debit balance and liability shows credit balance. And this business, at what price you purchased? You purchased for 3,30,000. You purchased this business for 3,30,000. They purchased for 3,30,000. So what we are going to do is, the first point is company purchased business for 3,30,000. Is it clear for you all? What the company is doing? The company is purchasing the business. At what price they are purchasing? They are purchasing for 3,30,000. So what is coming into the business, into the company? The business is coming. So what is the entry you're going to write? First, you are purchasing the business. So business purchase account will be debited, and to the vendor, when you're purchasing the business, to the vendor, how much you have to pay? 3,30,000 is the amount where you have to pay to the vendor. So first, what is the entry you're going to write is, this is the journal entries where you're going to pass in the books of a company. These are the journal entries where we are going to pass in the books of a company. The first is where you're purchasing the business. At what price we purchased? At 3,30,000 is the purchase price of the business. So as the business is coming in, business purchase account will be debited. Business purchase account debit. To whom you have to pay? To the vendor. From whomever you purchase, to that person you have to pay the purchase price, that is 3,30,000. What is the purchase price? The purchase price is 3,30,000. Is it clear for you all? Being business purchased and amount due to the vendor. Vendor is nothing but the seller. Anyone having any doubt in this journal entry? Is it clear for you all? Yes? Any doubts? No doubts? No doubts, ma? Is it clear for you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the next is, we'll go for the next slide. Next slide. What we are going to do? When you purchase the business, what are coming into the business? That is, we had taken over the assets and the liabilities. So when you had taken the assets and the liabilities, always assets shows the debit balance. So assets account will be debited. What assets he mentioned? This just he mentioned as purchased assets. So where you are going to write as assets account will be debited. Assets account will be debited. What is the assets value is 3,50,000. So assets account to be debited with 3,50,000. Leave some space. 2. Always liabilities to be credited. So two liabilities account. What are your liabilities? The liabilities are 30,000. So here 30,000. హలో శైలజ, నేను క్లాస్లో ఉన్నానమ్మా, తర్వాత చేయవా? ఓకే. So liabilities are 30,000. To business purchase. In the first entry, we debited business purchase. For this business purchase, what we received for purchasing the business, we received assets and liabilities. So all assets shows debit balance and liability shows credit balance. So assets are debited and liabilities are credited. And this business purchase account is already debited in the first entry. So here where you're going to credit the business purchase account is how much? 3,30,000. So what I mentioned to you all always, debit should be equal to credit. Now debit is 350 but credit is 360. Which side is less?
Debit.
Debit side. How much? What is the difference?
10,000.
10,000. So this 10,000 where you're going to debit as goodwill. When you're purchasing the business, always remember when you're purchasing the business, the net worth of the business may be more than the purchase price or less than the purchase price. If it is more, if you're paying more, it is nothing but it is called as a goodwill. If you're paying less, it is a profit. It will be credited to your capital reserve account. As credit is more, debit is less. The difference we had taken on the debit side, mentioning as goodwill. If debit is more and credit is less, means you're paying less price. So it is a profit where you're going to credit the capital reserve account. Is it clear for you all? So here the narration is being assets and liabilities taken into account. We had taken into account. When you're purchasing the business, whatever liabilities, whatever assets he had given, that is recorded in our books of accounts. The assets and liabilities which were taken over is recorded in the books of a company. So assets always will be debited and liabilities will be credited. At what price you purchased? For 3,30,000. The difference is nothing but is goodwill, as credit is more and debit is less. So 10,000 is the goodwill. Is it clear? You're paying more than the net worth of the business. So that is the reason whatever amount, extra amount you paid, it is nothing but it is the goodwill. Is it clear? Next is, now you have to make the payment to the vendor. To vendor you're due, isn't it? How much you are due to vendor? 3,30,000. So how you're making the payment to the vendor? We are issuing debentures of 100 each to the vendor instead of giving cash. Usually when you're purchasing the business, you have to make the payment. So how you're going to make the payment? We are issuing the debentures. We are issuing the debentures. So what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be vendor. Journal entry will be vendor account debit to rate of interest is mentioned. Did he mention in the problem? See and tell me.
No, ma'am.
14%.
We have to write the rate. If it is not mentioned, we'll write it as 2 debentures. What is the amount? 3,30,000. Being debentures. How many debentures, ma? 100 means being 3,300 debentures at the rate of 100 issued for consideration other than cash. To whom you are giving? To the vendor for purchase of business. Is it clear for you all? Followed? So what happened? In the first entry, business purchase account is debited. In the second entry, business purchase account is credited. So account is closed. Vendor account is credited in the first entry and vendor account is debited in the next third entry. So vendor account is also closed. What are the accounts showing balance? Assets account is showing balance, goodwill account is showing balance, liabilities account is showing balance, and the debentures are showing a balance. So when you prepare the balance sheet, you didn't ask, but I'll just show the balance sheet for you all. Balance sheet of a company as on date is not given. So first he didn't give the share capital to us, isn't it? No information. Then 2, we don't have any reserves and surplus. Then here just we'll take liabilities. When we do final accounts, I'll show the format mark. Now you just take liabilities. First we'll take secured loans because debentures come first. Secured loans. Under that, debentures. Debentures are how much? 3,30,000. Then other liabilities. We do not know what are the liabilities, isn't it? So we'll write it as other liabilities. Under that, liabilities. How much, ma? Liabilities taken over? 30,000. Liabilities taken over 30,000. That's all, isn't it? 3,60,000. Then we have assets. Assets, nothing is mentioned. It is 3,50,000. Goodwill. Goodwill is 10,000. Isn't it? See here, assets are 350 and goodwill 10,000. Liabilities are 30,000. All this we had recorded. 30,000 liabilities, assets 3,50,000, goodwill 10,000. Debentures we issued to the vendor for 3,30,000. So total liabilities are 360 liability side, and here total assets are also 60,000. Is it clear? So in this way you are going to do the problem. Any doubts you have? Is it clear for you all? So in today's class we completed all the 4 problems. Yes, copied the balance sheet, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.